Let me talk at ya. Welcome one and all to Not Just A Guy, the show about by and for struggling storytellers. I just realized I did the old intro,
That also scared
but I think it
me.
just works better than the other
Oh
one,
my
so I'm
gosh.
doing that. I'm your host, Not Just A Guy, the guy, Garrett Briones, joined by my co-host,
It's me.
Emily Briones.
Oh,
I don't really have a way for you to ever introduce yourself, so I just
joined by
kind of...
my wife.
My wife.
And that's my wife.
Red
Get your hands off my wife. It's gonna be the annoying bit for at least the year, for at least the first year of marriage. So it's gonna be.
That's my wife.
And that's my wife.
Pal. Nice. Then I give him an old Indiana Jones punch.
Get your hands off my wife. That's my wife.
Well, but you don't get to say it. Only I get to say it.
Well, I know,
I'm not
but
your
I'm
wife.
giving you material.
Oh.
Husband's too much of a.
As you can tell, we're very just everywhere right now. We are today talking about. Last time, we did a full-on, full-on Cronkite-esque interview.
I did a whole yap session.
Right, we sat down, we had the two chairs facing each other.
We yapped.
And it was like one shot, two shot, going back between A and B shot and going back to a wide where it like pans around us where I'm just asking the hard-hitting questions.
Please, I'm already out of work.
And
You're
I'm
making me think of work.
And then, I'm asking, really, I lean in, you hear the chair creak because it's like, this is supposed to be, it's actually happening. I'm like, what is it like to balance the life? And then she goes like, and then I, they're like, the person behind the camera is like, oh, we're leaving this in. This is good. This is good. I like this. And the producer who's doing this is like standing there shaking their head going, oh yeah, this is it. It's the good stuff.
The AD is like frantically looking up and down from the shoot to their clipboard, and they're like, "This is gold. This is gold. We're early."
Trying to, we talk about balance a lot, but what does it actually look like in practice, and are there ways that we can improve that? And we're also I also wanted to go on a detour.
Oh.
Not Star Wars Detours, which is a animated Star Wars show made by the Robot Chicken guys that's sitting on a shelf somewhere in the Disney Vault. It's just lost of time. Anyways. That's also, but that relates to what I want to talk about, and it's actually the name of this episode. It's called this episode title is "Folks Were Terrified," and in parentheses about the state of the industry.
Oh, okay.
Because, folks, I'm really scared.
I'm kind of spooked out.
I don't advocate for mergers. A big part of film school was learning about monopolies and all these studios, why they're separate and things like that. I'm not going to name all the studios because obviously nothing is set in stone right now, but it's just if you're keeping an eye on the news, it looks like Warner Brothers is going to be sold, and there's different places making offers. Obviously, we don't need to get into all the places that are making offers because this kind of stuff changes all the time. By the time this episode comes out, they might have already sold. I don't know.
True.
But it's really scary. I don't want an industry where streaming is the only option. And I also don't want an industry where there's only 4 to 5 studios to work for. Because, even within the last few years, we've seen, Disney acquired Fox. And
well, Disney's acquired everything at this point.
Well, but Fox is more so the big problem. Because Fox went from distributing about 15 to 17 movies a year to now doing about 5 to 7 or so. There was a news stat about that recently.
Yeah.
And then obviously recently Amazon acquired MGM, which that one, they are putting out a lot of movies and still some are going to theaters, which is, I guess that's at least reassuring. But again, even I watched a movie that MGM probably would have put in theaters to just today. I watched it on a Prime because I literally also didn't know it had even come out. I thought it was just getting put on digital to rent, and it was no, it's on Prime. And I didn't know that until a few days ago. I was like, oh, I guess I can watch this movie I wanted to see. I would have preferred to see it in the theater.
Yeah, it's
but
so
it's
weird.
Just scary.
Yeah, it's weird that they're not also even this morning we were talking about the latest Knives Out.
Yeah.
How that at least
Wake Up Dead Man.
Yeah, to me I love that.
Yeah.
Franchise series.
Well, it's a trilogy.
Yeah. But that I thought that did great numbers. I thought that would be enough to where there would be a really
the first
fun,
one was
because we saw Glass Onion in theaters.
Well, yes, but but it's the same way that Wake Up Dead Man is being released, where it's only going to be limited theaters.
Well, and I feel like they've shrunk that.
That
even
one
from
is also
last time.
that one at the moment, like things change, but at the moment that's not being carried by AMC. The CEO of AMC has been very vocal about like having to make things work with
Right.
Netflix, which they have made some things work. Like Stranger Things, the finale is going to be in AMC theaters.
Oh, wow,
K-pop Demon Hunter, I think was Demon Hunters was they made that work at AMC's, but it's like Wake Up Dead Man is one of Netflix's biggest movies. That and Frankenstein are probably their biggest movies of this fall season. Frankenstein also wasn't playing in AMC; it was playing in some certain theaters, but again, it was limited, and AMC is one of the bigger chains.
That's
And
so
it's like
weird.
it's like I was trying to see, because for you bring up Knives Out, like that's a franchise I love. I love Ryan Johnson. He's one of my favorite writer directors out there.
You have the sweater.
I have a sweater.
You have his
Well,
sweater.
I have Chris Evans, a version.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like it's so good. You have the sweater.
But I mean, I've loved him since when he was directing episodes of Breaking Bad. And I remember I got Looper for. My mom would always get my sister and I gifts for Valentine's Day, just as like I love you guys. And one of them I got was the DVD of Looper because I wanted to see it. I never got a chance to go. I was like 13, so I had to have someone take me to go see it, and I didn't get a chance to go see it because I don't even think it really played that long back home. And so like I've been a fan of him since, like I said, like since I'm 13, because I also knew he was, at that time it was announced he was doing episode 8, so I was like, even as a young me, I was like, well, I want to learn about this guy.
Yeah.
And I remember that first Knives Out came out when I was in college. I was 20, and I remember AMC had like an early access screening, and so I walked all the way to the AMC, the one that's no longer there, the AMC Promenade 16. Loved that AMC. That's where I saw Infinity War. It's where I saw Endgame. It's where I saw.
Oh, so it's like on the map for you.
Well, that was my first AMC. Like that was my regular theater when I moved out. Like, because our apartment wasn't that far from it, so we would just sometimes we would walk it, which was like ill-advised. But other times we would just drive there. But for that one, I was just like, oh, there's like I didn't know that was like a thing that AMC offered, and so I went there. I got to see it a few days early. I still have the poster from where we're recording. It's literally down the hall. Yeah. I have it framed and everything. And like, all this to say, it was a great theatrical experience. Seeing that with the crowd was awesome. We were all a few days, like there was a buzz, there was an energy. We were some of the first, like, just normal people, like not critics, that got to see it, and it was awesome. And then when it was announced, like, hey, they're gonna make more, and the people that won the bidding war for it were Netflix, I was a little, at the time when it happened, I was younger. Yeah. I was, when it was announced, I think it was in 2020, 2021, because the movie came out in 2022, so I think it was, especially, I think during it being that deal going through during like pandemic times, it was like,
well, everything was shaky.
Well, it was like, well, the industry might not survive anyway, so I guess I'm just happy these movies are going to happen.
Wait, I didn't even think about it in that sense.
At that point it was just kind of well, and it's we never go back to normal.
Well, yeah, I mean, and it's also funny too to think about like at such a crucial time. Like, I feel like people always forget. Like, I had a conversation with somebody recently about Netflix stuff. Yeah. They had no idea Netflix used to be a mail-in DVD service. They had no idea.
It's rentals, yeah.
Like, I have vivid memories of ordering stuff off of Netflix. It was it was just after Hollywood Video, rest in peace, had shut down, and Netflix was like, hey, well, we send these straight to your house, and it works all the same. This isn't a foreign concept. You just don't have to leave your house.
Well, it's interesting. There we go. To see the lifespan of like a Netflix, because it's like in their early stage, they pushed the rental stores out because it was like, you don't have to leave home. We'll ship them to you. And it was like, oh, okay. So why do I need to go drive to Hollywood Video? Why do I need to go to Blockbuster? It's like, I can just have them sent here. And then now, like, the next step of that is, well, you don't need to go to the theater. Your home is the theater. Yeah. And it's like, all this is to say, like, okay, so then Glass Onion comes out. It's only in theaters for, like, one week or so. And so we managed to see it, and it's, again, like, I remember that, like, it was a great show. It was
loved
packed.
It. I thought it was
great. A great thing. Everyone was laughing. Everyone was gasping. Everyone was having a fun time.
Yeah, it was like a true whodunit experience.
You could feel everybody on the edge of their seat during the sequence where it's like, Mona Lisa, Mona Lisa. And it was great. But and that was about 3 years ago. Yeah. And it's like, it bums me out that it's nothing was learned from that. It's like it's still a limited release. It's the same time of year. It's still a limited release, and now it feels like you said, it's like on less screens. Like we saw Glass Onion at AMC. It feels like the fact that it's not playing there and it's playing at reputable theaters, but it's like I was at work the other day trying to see plan out if where do we go see it, and it's stuff. Like we'd have to go out of our way basically to see it, and I really want to, and I bring up like Netflix mostly because that's the streamer. All the other streamers, the streaming wars are over.
Netflix has been
they're the top dog. They're everyone saw that idea. They chased it. We had the streaming wars. They were bloody. They were awful time. And much like the tagline of Alien versus Predator, whoever won, we all lost. Because to paraphrase, no one won. No one won in the streaming wars. And I think all these studios have started to see that, and it's why a lot of things have the last couple of years have been that were maybe going to just be thrown on a streamer have been moved to the theaters, or things that were successful on streaming. Like you look at, the next Star Wars movie that's coming out is The Mandalorian and Grogu.
That's a movie.
That's literally like, well, it's not. It's so popular. Why are we making this as a show that costs, however, $200-300 million? Why are we putting that on a streamer that's going to have a subscription count? Like, there's going to be a cap to these things.
Oh yeah.
Like, why not put it in a movie theater where like all the kids that have grown up loving Grogu for the last 6 years can see him in the theater?
Well, and the funniest thing too is with those streaming wars, everybody's trying to one up.
The streaming wars.
Everyone's trying to one up one another. Yeah. In terms of the content, the quality, the story, this, that, and the other. And it literally begs that exact question of like, well, wait, we're putting so much into this. Yeah. It definitely, like this, like it's funny to see that there's like that weird like realization click of like, hold on a minute. This has excellent craftsmanship to it. Why, yeah, you know what? Let's put it in a theater. Yeah. It's like, well, yeah, you're basically making like theater quality stuff for somebody's Roku TV.
Yeah, like it's weird because it's like you see all these things where it's like reports come out and it's like part of the publicity campaign becomes like this movie cost $320 million, and it's like, yeah, but how do you make that back? It's like you can't make that back.
No, and I never understood why they. Dude, this is just like a me thing. I've never understood the point of being like the Tom Cruise movie brings in X amount of money and it cost a quadrillion dollars to make, and it's like okay, but for why? Like, why do I care? Why do I need to know that?
In that sense, it's when it's something that's theatrical, it makes sense because it's like. Well, I don't care about box office or budgets.
No,
I think
just never
think it's
why.
One of the worst things to happen to online film discourse that's brought up. It happens in wrestling discourse too, like ratings and stuff like that. Like
I just never
match ratings, but also like TV ratings. It's like, guys, it literally doesn't matter. It's like it doesn't affect you. It's like
it never made sense to me. It's like, why do I care? How much it took to make this movie? Well, I'm like, was the movie good or bad?
Well, the streamers do it because it makes it seem like it's a big deal, because the average person will see like, oh, that movie cost $320 million. Like that must mean it's like the biggest really movie ever.
Like they put a value to the
and I bring all this up to say, talking about mergers, like what is scaring me about what already has shown in the Paramount Skydance one is a lot of people lost jobs. Like that really scares me. But what scares me about this Warner Brothers one, and looking at some of the people that are interested, whatever company it ends up being, what scares me is like Warner Brothers has had a really good year. Like again, we're not going into box office or we're not going into that stuff, but like they've had a very hits. they've had some rough years. Like just looking at looking at how the industry has been, like the industry as a whole has had some rough times, but this has been a good year, especially for Warner Brothers. I think they had a streak where it was like it was Minecraft, Superman, Sinners, F1, and Conjuring Last Rites, and I think Weapons. I think it was those 6. I could be, if I'm missing a 7th one, let me know. Basically, they had a thing where it was they were the number one opening movie like every release they had.
yeah.
It was it was like a line of like 6 releases in a row of theirs. Not obviously like they weren't releasing them like one every
Well,
week,
no,
but
but
it was like every time they had a release on the calendar from Minecraft or I can't remember if Minecraft came out before Sinners. I think it was Sinners that came out before Minecraft. Whatever.
No, I think you're right. Minecraft before.
From there all the way, I think The Conjuring was the last one of like it was just
Conjuring's the most recent one.
It was just like they were every time they released a movie, it was number one, and they were all overperforming. Obviously, F1 also has like an asterisk because it is also technically an Apple movie, but they did it together, so it counts as a Warner Brothers movie. But
it's a boost, but it's still in there.
But like that is. That's done a lot to turn around the perception on Warner Brothers, and not only that, but they've been putting people on first look deals. Like they have Cruz has a first look deal there now, which people expected that to kind of be something that was maybe at Paramount. Again, we're not getting into the minutia of the business. That's not really what this is about. But that's to say, like, it's really kind of disheartening to think of the idea of this studio has really been pushing the theatrical experience, really been they're having so many movies that are getting people to the theaters, like Sinners,
we've
Weapons,
seen it like 50
Superman.
times.
Yeah, it's like all these things that are like really pushing the theatrical experience. Like Sinners and F1, I think like those two specifically are my favorite like IMAX things in the like IMAX screenings I've been to this year. Like when I saw F1,
not even Superman.
Oh no, I mean I love Superman, but I'm saying like those two are like Superman was great in IMAX, but it was those two were really using IMAX because there's also some conjecture on I don't know all the specs, but like whether because only some sequences in Superman no, that's not.
Oh, I see.
It was shot IMAX, but it also was like it's whatever. It's minutia. But I'm saying like those ones were made with IMAX because like IMAX was going ham on those two specifically. Like those were those other ones. I mean, there have been plenty of IMAX experiences I've loved this year, but like when the aspect ratio expands in Sinners, or like when at the end, no spoilers, but at the end of the movie when the in F1 when the camera's on Javier Bardem's face and it's the size of a building and he goes, he's flying. And then they cut to Brad Pitt, and there's no sound in the movie. It's just like cool. It's just like a humming, and he's literally you're in his perspective, and it's bobbing and weaving at like speeds of 100 miles, and I'm like, I'm flying. I'm with Cruz. I'm with Pitt. I'm flying with Pitt.
See, I didn't see F1, but I've heard from your account.
Yeah, no, it was very good time. Yeah. I really dug it. I'm a big fan of Joseph Kosinski.
Yeah,
but it imagining watching those at home.
Oh God.
Would have I can even talk from experience. My buddy Tristan, he saw both of those at home. He still loved them, thought they were great. Like we had like a big talk about
first watch.
Yeah, he didn't get a chance to see them in theaters. Or maybe Sinners he did. I think he ended up having to rent that. But like we talked about F1 and like he loved it. He watched it at home. He loved it, and obviously that's a movie that's gonna live on there because it's an Apple movie. Like it's gonna be on Apple TV Plus. Also, now the streaming wars are over. Get rid of the pluses. I'm so over the pluses. But
it's so much more because TV
I know, but it's like
now.
I want to say Disney was the first one to do. Whoever was the absolute first one to put Plus. Disney. They should be the only ones to have Plus.
It was Hulu. Hulu Plus. Hulu was the first one to do it, but then it got absorbed.
Yeah, but Hulu's Hulu.
Like that at least. But Hulu was the first one to have.
But they're owned by Disney. That's a different thing.
But it was before they were absorbed. If we're talking like on paper, the very first the streaming platform to adopt the Plus, it was Hulu.
It depends on the year.
Well, yeah, because Disney Plus came after. Disney
have owned a sizable amount of Hulu for a while now.
But it was still the Hulu name because I remember.
But I'm just saying. Well, then we're saying the Walt Disney Company should have. Then they should only get Plus.
It's all still
because
dumb.
It's like Paramount Plus, Apple TV Plus. It's like people make fun of it, but like I like that universal streaming service is called Peacock because it's like at least they thought of NBC it's an extension of NBC like
Paramount
that makes
Plus
sense.
Doesn't make sense to me because plus what?
Like call it like
what are you
call
adding
it like
to
Paramount? Since it's like Paramount, call it like mountain or like
Mountain View.
mountaintop or something, because like that's
Mountain
their
View would
thing
be
is like
fun.
the mountain, like
Yeah.
that's their whole thing is like
That would
like
be fun. Or
or
like if MGM had their own. You know
Yeah.
how cool it would be just be like Lion TV.
Lion TV.
Lion TV.
Well, but they're owned by.
Well, yeah, but
Well, no, you know what's funny? They're actually MGM has their own one.
Do they really?
Yeah. What do you think it's called?
is it not Lion TV?
No. What do you think it's called? Going off of this horrible naming thing we're talking about, what do you think it's called?
Is it Lion TV Plus?
It's MGM Plus.
Stop.
It's literally.
That's not even creative.
Yeah,
Plus
it's just
what though?
Plus.
Like that's the issue that
It's
I
not
have.
just MGM. It's MGM Plus.
But like, what are you adding? Okay, like Disney Plus makes sense because it's got Hulu and ESPN, and it's like
Well,
got
that's their
TV.
thing. Yeah, like their
Like, that's
marketing
their
is smart
thing.
because at the bottom it shows
All their
Disney
stuff.
plus Star Wars
Yeah.
plus Disney plus
What like
National Geographic.
what
It's like
is-
it has.
What is Paramount adding? You guys don't have it. You
well,
have
well, now they have Skydance.
well, okay, but it's still movies though.
Yeah.
Like you're not like using like PBS. It's not like Paramount plus PBS. Like it's not anything. You're not adding to it. Like it never made sense to me. Of people
Well,
are
they do
like,
have Showtime too.
okay, still though, my point being, they aren't adding to anything. Being like, we have more movies.
Yeah.
It's like no, don't put plus. Be creative.
Yeah.
Take 2 seconds to be creative, like Universal. Honestly, at this point, we just want Universal sponsor us. We're a Universal house. We appreciate you guys.
Yeah, they're one of the places I want to make a movie for. I
And
love.
and shout out to everybody working at Universal.
I just saw a
Love you
re-release
guys.
of one of my favorite films of all time, a Universal
yeah.
picture.
You're wearing the
Back to
shirt
the Future.
right
I
now.
am. I saw Back to the Future as part of the 40th anniversary re-release. I wore my Back to the Future shirt. I saw it in Dolby.
I got a text after the movie saying, "I'm back from the future."
Yes, first time where I've ever teared up watching it during the Earth Angel sequence.
Oh,
When George finally kisses Lorraine, I started tearing up because it's just perfect. Because then Marty stands up because he has his
Aw.
energy back. It's just beautiful. Great movie.
I'm so jealous.
Universal picture.
shout
One of
out
my favorites.
Universal.
One of my
Universal.
reasons for being a filmmaker.
Truly.
One of my favorite films of all time.
Me too.
It's on my letterbox.
Well,
Don't
that's
go to
not my
Letterboxd.
favorite film of all time, but it's a
It's not-
Universal
I didn't say
movie
it was my favorite. I
nonetheless.
said it's one of my favorites.
Oh, I thought you said.
Yeah, it's not my absolute. I don't think I have
Well,
an absolute singular.
I was just
favorite
saying
film
in
of
the
all time.
sense that my movie is also a Universal movie that made me
Oh,
want
you're saying yeah.
make movies.
That's also on my letterbox for.
Yeah. Yeah,
Excuse
better
me.
be.
Relax. I always have The Last Crusade, Jurassic Park, Back to
Yeah.
the Future, and a Star Wars.
An A Star Wars.
It always changes.
Some Star Wars,
Sometimes
but
it's
a Star Wars
77,
nonetheless.
sometimes it's the OG, sometimes it's Return of the Jedi, sometimes it's The Last Jedi. Back to the Ryan Johnson of it all. But folks, yeah, no, I am even like there was a point where it felt like the industry like we're so back, and now it felt like after the strikes
We're
and
so back with an asterisk.
yeah, like after the double strikes and all like
And the
there was a
COVIDs.
point last year was a good year for film, but I know kind of industry wide there were things were bombing, some things were doing
Yeah.
great because like there was even. It was hard for the industry. It was in a post-Barbenheimer world,
Whew.
which
How
also.
do you compare?
I mean, well, hey, people are trying to get Glicked. I mean, it didn't take off.
And I'm happy it didn't because that's just weird.
Hey, we wanted Paul Mescal to do well.
I mean, yeah,
I'm a fan of Paul.
but we don't need to. That's the
I stan.
the one thing that I wish that we
I'm
as
excited
a,
for Hamnet.
Oh, stop doing that.
What?
Don't. Okay, this is just furthering my point. This is like the one thing that I wish like we as a society would just like stop doing is like just enjoy the one thing. Like the Barbie.
That's not a made up thing. What I just said.
No, I know. That's what's it's so sad. It's like, okay, yeah, Barbenheimer,
No.
hilarious.
Oh, did you think I was saying Hamnet as like a combination of two movies?
Yeah.
No, that's what the movie's called.
Oh, what the heck is that?
It's about William Shakespeare and
What's Hamlet?
it's the movie's called Hamnet. It's about the real life William Shakespeare, who is
The
played by
heck?
Paul Mescal, and his wife. I can't remember his actual wife's name, but she's played by Jessie Buckley in the movie, and it's about the passing of their child, and it eventually kind of like went on to inspire Hamlet.
That sounds like a combo of two.
But it's called Hamnet.
That's
I'm
funny.
pretty sure that's his name. Or if I could
the
be
son's
wrong.
name?
I believe that's what his name is. Yeah.
Oh.
Or something. It's directed by Chloe Zhao, who did Eternals and did Nomadland and stuff like that.
Cersei?
Yes.
Wow.
Also, it's a Universal. Or I think Universal's helping with the distribution because I was at City Walk and I saw the posters. I was like, Hamnet. And I was like, why is that poster here? I didn't know that
who are
was.
you?
I was like, is Universal distributing this?
No, okay, but still to my point.
Yeah.
I will never understand why we can't just like have a nice thing happen and like or like have a fun thing happen.
Well, but
and then
also,
like have it to be okay, because
Well, but
like
also
Barbenheimer was fun.
Well,
we participated.
wait, but I'm saying Barbenheimer will never happen again. Also because the thing that people don't. What I'm also talking about is the reason why it will never happen again. Why it was lightning in a bottle is also it was a move made of pure spite.
No, I
why
know.
it happened. It wasn't like.
But that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, no, that's literally my point. Is like it's like a one-time thing of like. Yet you had two of arguably the biggest movies of the year in the same weekend going head for head. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It was fun. We participated in Barbenheimer. It was a great time.
That
was fun little tidbit. Like that feeling when you like go to a movie in the middle of the day and then you come out and you're like, what year is it? That like times 12 for Barbenheimer for us because it was just like the craziest feel. Anyway, so but like the issue that I have is people are like even though they've been jokes, but like click it. It's like no click it. Like we don't need to do that. Like Barbenheimer was its own thing.
It wasn't a thing because
but it also wasn't a thing.
Wicked
but it's like,
was the thing.
But I understand people are like, haha, it's so funny. Like, oh, head for head, let's make these like weekends. It's like no, just enjoy the thing. Just have fun with this thing that happened, and then that's all.
Well, I mean, people are allowed to get excited about
people
movies.
aren't allowed to have fun anymore.
They're allowed to get excited about movies.
This is my ban on people having fun.
I would rather people get excited about movies than not.
I mean,
and
get excited about movies.
Damn TikToks.
Get excited about movies, but don't try to recreate some. You don't miss. You don't miss the thing. You miss the feeling of when the thing.
Well, yeah, they're also making. They're having fun with the theatrical experience.
That's a Jacksepticeye thing.
Cool.
He was telling people, he's like, you don't miss the old me. You missed my old videos that made you feel good, and so you miss that feeling. And I'm like, whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's nostalgia.
Well, yeah, but like he was saying, like I'm pretty. Well, I was paraphrasing, but like I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I don't. I mean,
I'm scared about the industry right now, and I don't want this year, which was a great year theatrically for Warner Brothers, and then also I don't need somebody saying, well, one battle after another bombed. That's not the point. Stop caring about budgets. They mean nothing to you. That's my thing. One battle after another. It's probably gonna sweep at the Oscars next year. It's probably gonna sweep all the awards.
Which one's that?
It's the one with the DiCaprio.
Yeah.
It was great. I really enjoyed it. It's pretty universally loved. Some people are saying it's best of the decade.
Well, it's Leo.
I need people to stop caring about, it's gonna lose this millions of dollars. Okay, but is that money going to you, pal? No, it's not.
Yeah,
Get over it. Move on. But like, it worries me to have this crazy good year and to think like this studio's most likely going to get acquired by somebody else, and that's also going to lose a bunch of people their jobs, and it's also going to significantly reduce the amounts of movies that they're making because they're going to be owned by a different corporation. It's the same thing that happened to Fox.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's cool that, Fox is still, well, they're not called Fox anymore. They're called 20th Century Studios and the Searchlight Pictures.
Yeah.
But it's just like, hey, I mean, I'm excited for Predator Badlands, but it's like also that's only like the sixth like Fox movie that's getting released. I keep saying Fox. 20th Century Studios.
It's Fox.
If it's got the dun dun dun, it's Fox.
It's Fox.
But it's like that's only gonna be like the sixth Fox movie that's been released this year.
You know what they're doing now though? They're trying to get into my neck of the woods.
Oh, the whole vertical thing. Like that's been a big thing
because
this last week.
They're going in a direction. They're not our direct competitor, but they're like a competitor nonetheless. which is actually really funny because never in a million years, well, I say as if I've been working at this job for like a decade already, but like I would have never have thought that you would say vertical content and a big build studio in the same breath and it be the same kind of, because like we did actually I completely forgot to tell you this, which I did think was really cool. We actually, my company partnered with Universal for Regretting You.
Yeah.
And it freaked me out because I opened our app and it started playing as if it was one of the episodes on the app. And I was very concerned that our app got hacked somehow.
Yeah.
But it actually, I think it was once the movie comes out, we actually, like, if you're a VIP member on the app, you can actually watch the movie.
Oh.
Like I mean, which... Granted, sounds really cool. Also, though, whoever was like formatting it didn't format it proper enough, because I don't blame them, but it's really funny because you can tell that somebody was like, I don't really want to make it proper vertical, so I'm just gonna like shrink it down to vertical. So you really, I mean, like, it's cool nonetheless, but like it's interesting to see that what studios are kind of starting to lack in like the acquisitions and this and that and the other. They're trying to dip their toe into something that can maybe prove more fruitful. Like, I mean, it's a pretty good like corner right now of like revenue with vertical stuff. But I think what is happening is I think studios are thinking that this is going to be like the new streaming, where it's like something that they can just like cash cow it, which...
I mean, I won't be surprised if because like all the streaming apps are already on mobile. I wouldn't be surprised if in the next few years or so, and they'll probably use they'll probably use those two disgusting letters, those two horrible vowels that I hate hearing together.
Yeah.
Well, they're gonna use those disgusting words, those two horrible letters, to like, they're gonna use it to just, it's gonna be like, have you seen the stuff from The Sphere?
Yeah.
Where like they expanded that.
It is kind of cool.
They're gonna use all their tools and everything. I think there'll be like a tab that you can go to on one of these streaming apps on your phone, and it will just be like, it will just compress it into, it'll slap it into like vertical mode. It will do whatever it does. Like, you won't have to have the thing where like someone crosses the room and it like does that choppy thing where it's like every frame is following them because we have to like when you're watching like a TikTok and it's like a clip from a movie and it's like it awkwardly moves, but you see like every stutter of the frame. Like, they're gonna find ways to where it's like it smooths that out, and it's just like,
well, that's
instant. Well, I'm saying everything is gonna get verticalized. Like, they're gonna have a way to because that's the thing is like, excuse me, I think even the gaming sphere is like, they're trying to combat like, the we live in the economy of time. Like, that is really the thing that people are, they want your money, of course, but they want your time, because that is,
well, and the attention
not to
span,
get philosophical, but that's the most important thing you own.
Well, the attention spans nowadays are literally slim to none. I mean, with like TikTok being a thing, and like literally my main thing at work is you literally everything that we learned in film school about like building your characters and building your story and going through a journey, that literally all gets chucked out the window.
No.
You have no time. They want you to put the most crazy attention grabbing thing within this 30-second to a minute long clip. So people keep being like, "Oh, well, okay, you have my attention. And I need to know why this girl is trying to date her CEO or whatever." Insert whatever of my company's things that they use. But like it's the most challenging thing nowadays for any content. Yeah. Whether it's social, whether it's theatrical, whether it's anything. Like any sort of creative medium nowadays, your main concern isn't how does this look? How can I tell this story? What can I do? How much money is it's going to be? Can I keep your attention long enough for you to be into this? Which is insane. Yeah. But I don't really know how you fix that unless you're just like, I have your attention. Yeah. And I've won.
That's a whole, a whole other.
But that's it is It is kind of nice because at least that opens up jobs in its own way, depending on who's doing what and where and how. But in terms of like the AI thing, I will say a lot of it.
We don't say those letters.
But I will say a lot of the stuff that is caused by like trying to make things vertical, stuff like that can just be fixed with like not even using that, and it's only going to get progressively better with like Premiere and other softwares and stuff like that. But like in terms of it just taking something and like manipulating it, it's not as close as it could be for that.
Well, no, I'm not even saying like it's going to be like making the content. I'm saying, which I hate that word. I'm saying it's. I mean, you were saying it's not that hard to do it. That's why they're going to do it, is because they don't have to pay a person to sit there on Premiere and format it. They can just have they'll develop a software to just verticalize everything.
Okay, then let me redact and then re-say my statement. It's not hard to do. It's not hard to do correctly.
Yeah.
When you know what you're doing.
Yeah, it's not hard. Yeah.
When you're plugging and playing. Because here's the thing. Full disclosure, people at my job use AI for certain things. Prime example, there was a transition from a dude to a wolf. Like he's turning into a werewolf. And there's VFX elements into it where it's like little moments of like, ooh, like his hand turns into a claw, or like he has like teeth and fangs prosthetic and you need that transition, and like that's all VFX based. But there was like one thing where it was like a spirit of a wolf, like it was some like crazy shadow thing behind him or something like that. And we just simply couldn't get the VFX with it right, so we turned to AI for it, of like generate this whatever, right? Like you do the prompts and whatever this, I don't know, but and it's not good. It's very much like AI slop. Like it has like and I don't know if other people would know what I'm talking about, but like there's like a sheen to AI things. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like it's got like that weird like look to it of like that's almost like uncanny-esque.
Yeah, it's that, and it's like there's like a. It's like how for a while for CG characters they always made a move.
Yes.
Because they think movement means like
makes it more real.
Yeah, but like when I'm standing somewhere, I'm not like hovering.
Exactly.
Like when a human stands somewhere, they aren't like
you're not like NPC.
Not like every breath isn't making like their entire upper body.
Yes.
Like because there's an ad that I keep getting for something. And I could tell it was AI, one, because the audio dubbing is awful. The sound is awful.
I hate that.
Because it sounds like it's separate. But two, every time, like, there's... And if anyone's seen this ad, they'll know what I'm talking about. There's a part where a guy says, like, nah, he's staying put, or something like that. There's a beat before he says it.
Yeah.
Then he says, nah, he's staying put. And then there's just...
So bad.
He just stands there and pauses and kind of moves a little bit. But he just doesn't do anything before they cut to the next quote unquote person. And it's like, it's that stuff where it's just like, there's those hiccups and things.
It's the weird, uncanny, non-human error.
Yeah.
But it's like, that, and to me, like, I've talked about this multiple times on this podcast as well as just in daily life. I used to be very scared that there was going to be a lot of stuff that was no longer needed from editors because of AI. Because we genuinely thought like, well, that thing can cut a whole movie and edit it perfectly to a T. You feed it the footage and you tell it exactly what you want it to do.
Someone's
going to
use CapCut to edit a movie.
You'd have better luck.
They're going to have the watermark at the end.
you know, you would have a better movie if you edited with CapCut than AI, because we've seen, I think it was like a Disney Plus show or something. It was something with Disney where they made it. It was the whole debacle with the AI crowd, the AI generated crowd, and like the faces were all messed up and the hands were distorted. They were in, or maybe it wasn't. I vaguely remember it was the first time, because that's what sparked the whole thing of SAG-AFTRA being like, well, you can't do that. We have extras for that. Like you doing that puts a gajillion people out of work for being a backup. Or a background. And that came out, and then every editor just breathed a sigh of relief because we're like, oh, cool. If you can't even do that properly, we're fine.
Yeah.
And then another thing more recent, I think within the past like 2 years or so, came out where it was literally like a almost like an ad of like, this is what it would be like if AI was, I'm your actor, I'm your editor, I'm your director, and I'm your camera, and da 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 da. And it was the most disturbing thing I've ever seen, because every single person in that thing was AI generated, didn't have a flicker of life behind their eyes, no emotion. They could make facial expressions to simulate emotions, but it was horrifying. And that was another sigh of relief of like, yeah, they're really not going to get this. So like with using it in the ways that it's being used right now, I think it's like, that's as far as you're going to be able to push it for stuff like this. It's going to probably be more of like a, hey, can you just tell me how to pay my car insurance? And then like, but I don't know, but it is
it just doesn't have place in the arts is the thing. It just has no place in
if at all, it's only to help with like very like tedious things, and even then that has a fail to it. Like I could only ever see it being used as like a placeholder to then get rid of for the real deal. Like
we're making these movies for 100 years. We don't need it. We really don't.
Yeah, and then to go back to the original thing of studios going vertical, I'm happy that if that is an avenue that can open stuff up, but it does suck because that still leaves things open for acquisition like that, the way that it's happening now. But who knows? We don't know where it's gonna go.
But yeah, I don't want this to be a doom and gloom episode, but it is just we're at a point.
It's weird
in the industry where we're past the. I mean, we're not out of the pandemic, folks. Let me still tell you that we're not
adapted.
But we're out of what that did to the industry, because now obviously there are protocols, there are vaccines, like people are able to safely make stuff. We're now 2 years removed. We're almost out of the, the strikes were very needed. I'm just saying, like, we are almost out of the, like, last year was a thinner release year because, no, I shouldn't say it like that.
Well, it was a recovery period. It was trying to get out of the things of what it was.
Well, I was trying to say things were punted. Like we were a lot of what came out last year were stragglers from 2023 that the studios wanted their stars to be able to promote, so they pushed them to 2024. Two examples being Challengers and Dune Part 2, because they were like, we have Zendaya, we want to be able to have her be part of the press tour. We don't, so like. That pushed off a lot of things, and then things that were supposed to shoot in 2023 for 2024 releases got pushed, and like we're still dealing with that. But like we've gotten to a place where things have kind of leveled out. So it's like, and we've had these big theatrical things in the last couple of years that have like shown people want to see stuff in the movies, and it's like, now that the streamers, like all the big studios are taking their foot off the gas when it comes to the streamers, because they've realized that maybe, chasing that, the tech bro Silicon Valley like idea isn't necessarily working. That's what it is. Like, that's true. That truthfully is. Well, no, like big tech did fundamentally change the industry. Like, whether people realize it or not, like the industry has been chasing that dragon for the last 10 years, and it's done. I'm sure, the one thing about streaming is that maybe stuff did get made that wouldn't necessarily gotten made before. Certain voices have been pushed forward, although now all these places are conveniently they were supposedly champions of the oppressed and were trying to give voices to the voiceless, but now they're all conveniently rolling back all those things and don't want to support people of color, people of the LGBTQ plus community. They're conveniently all of a sudden not friendly and not supportive of all those. I wonder why.
Everybody wants to be woke when it can get you money.
Well, yeah, it's really sad. It's really it's appalling. But and now these platforms that were supposed to help get get that diversity, help get those voices out there, they are either not giving those voices anymore because they think that they're gonna get looked at a certain way, or now that they don't want to do as much streaming, they're only pushing mainstream stuff or things that they
know is gonna
like they know they don't want to take like there's no more risk on the streaming side now because there's less things on the streaming side now. And then that's the same thing with things that are actually getting to theaters, is there's also still now less risk because they don't want to be seen as woke or
Well, when you start limiting people's ways of signing in because you guys are charging an arm and a leg, so I have to borrow my sister's Netflix account.
It's like, hey, don't tell them that. But it's like, yeah, and that's the thing, is like, those prices are going to keep going up because they have to pay for those things, and it's
like, well, just go.
And we're getting back to the point where everything is cable because now everything is bundled.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
How
it's just crazy.
Full circle that's gone is now it's like
everything's bundled.
I would crave TiVo.
Apple and Peacock just announced that they're bundled. Like for the last couple of weeks they're bundled. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
And you can get Peacock for cheaper, or you can get for like $1 more on one of the Apple tiers. You get Peacock too.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's like $14 as opposed to $13 where you just get Apple.
Now more than ever am I craving being able to like record a show and then like come back to it without the threat of being like, watch it now or else it's getting taken off in 2 hours. It's like, why? Like, YouTube TV is killing it though.
Well, I mean, yes, and I mean they're also having to fight stuff where that didn't necessarily happen. I mean, well, they lost ESPN and ABC. They're still trying to get those back.
Yeah, but I just mean in the sense of like still having that, but then also having pretty much like unlimited access to like whatever you could want on YouTube. Yeah. And if you have premium, I mean that's.
Yeah. This isn't a full the sky is falling, but folks, if you are a struggling storyteller out there, continue exploring avenues to get your stories told.
Try vertical.
Try audio dramas. Write a book.
Draw a picture.
Go on, get a Substack account, and instead of doing like a newsletter, like write short stories on like Substack or something. Like I don't know, or
that's
on
smart.
Patreon you can make blog posts now. Like,
can you really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Why are you so surprised by that?
I didn't know about that. I just didn't know. That's cool.
Find ways to tell your stories. Because it is getting harder and harder to one of my biggest inspirations is Patrick H. Willems. He's a YouTuber. I was watching a video of his earlier where he was kind of talking about like he used to put a bunch of narrative bits in his video essays, and he's kind of pulled back on that. And people are like, "Why have you pulled back on that?" He's like, "I mean, one, I don't want to alienate new viewers by having them to have 5+ years of lore, but it's also like he was just saying like I don't want to do YouTube forever, like so he has like he has a streaming service he's helped cultivate and create, and he got a budget to make a short film that's coming out in December. I'm actually very excited for that. But it's like he used the video essays that was his narrative thing, and he ended up making a feature film. His feature film debut was the culmination of a saga about an evil coconut that he was in his video essays, and it culminated in a full feature-length movie.
He's so scary.
Night of the Coconut. Yeah, Charles, he's a scary MF. I don't swear on here at least. But this is a Christian podcast. I couldn't even say that without laughing. Find ways to tell your stories. He didn't think his feature film debut would be a feature-length movie about alternate versions of him and an evil coconut, but he still did that. And now, because he's done that, he's segued that into, now he's making short films that have like full casts, like people that are in TV shows and different stuff like that, and have been on TV and things like that. And he's a big inspiration of mine. And you just got to find your avenues, because right now the industry is it is really hard to break into right now.
Murky about
and so it's like, if you want to tell your stories and get noticed, you got to find those other avenues. I've been doing that for the last 3 years. It's slow going, but it's going. So but that's, I think, where we're gonna end it. I will say I have 2 announcements. I'm only gonna get to one today. We'll get to the other one at a later date. One is that I have lined up some guests, and so way guest episodes will work is they will be I'll record however long I do with guests. They will go up on the week before the episode would come out naturally to the public. They will go up on Patreon, and they will be part of the podcast. It's like a spin-off of this podcast. It's just called NJAC, Not Just a Conversation, which I have that will be the full-length conversation, all the ums and ands and, the things that the people they really think about thinking, you can hear their chair creaking as they lean back and think about answers to my amazing questions.
I'm not cutting any of them.
It's the full thing. I can tell you one of them confirmed. I know it might end up being the first one. Most likely will be with Campbell Russell Troutman. He will be returning. And so basically it would work like let's say an episode of Not Just A Guy airs the following week. You would get the Not Just A conversation for the upcoming guest. And then to the public and early on Patreon, Not Just A Guy would release. And you would get the best snippets or 20 to 30 minutes from the full conversation. But on the Patreon, you get the full thing featuring stories that you maybe wouldn't get to hear otherwise.
Just get a taste.
Yeah, basically, it's like you get. I still want to get the big things to the people, things that we think could really help. But the full thing will be up as its own separate entity on the Patreon.
Yeah, so you're walking into the Cold Stone Creamery and you're going, "Can I get a sample of that?" And then wait, no. So yeah, you're walking into the Cold Stone Creamery and you're going, "Hey, let me get a scoop of that the birthday cake." And we go, "No. Samples only unless you want to pay, kid."
Yeah, exactly.
And then you put money in the tip jar, and then we have to sing a song about it.
So that's the first announcement. The second announcement most likely will come on that episode with Mr. Russell Troutman once we get that episode in the can.
3 names.
Yes, that's what we call him.
3 last names.
3 last names.
Campbell could be a last name.
Russell
can also be a
but that's
last
his first name.
I know, but his
no
first
one's
name.
Troutman.
I mean, Troutman's straight up a last name.
Yeah, but you're saying he has. Are you trying to say he has multiple first names or multiple last names?
His whole name is nothing but last names.
Yeah, but I mean,
that is a man. He is Mr. Last Name.
Okay. Well, I'll tell him that. Yes, there will be another announcement coming whenever that episode of Campbell comes about, which should be happening soon because he loves to talk. I can say that. He said it himself.
I mean, you're not wrong.
But that's going to do it. You can find the show on the socials that we actually use, which are Instagram and TikTok. Well, you need to do more with TikTok. I've been lagging.
It's still there.
Which is just at Not Just A Guy Pod. And then you can go on patreon.com/Bachelor Class to support the show. What? /. That's what it's.
No, I know. Say. I've just never.
People say that all the time.
No, I know. It's just. Never mind.
Yeah. It's /. That's what it's called. It's not a backslash. It's /. Bachelor Class. That's where you can support us. That's our thing. And that's going to do it for this edition of Not Just A Guy. I have been your host, Not Just A Guy, the guy, Garrett Brioni, joined by my co-host.
It's me.
And we'll talk to you next time.
I'm under a blanket. I'm tired.
This has been a Bachelor Class production. Hosted by Garrett Brioni, edited by Emily Cunningham, music provided by Stephen Cruz. For more information, follow us at Bachelor Class.